Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. First of all, a big thank you to the organizer. And today, me and my team member, this is a list of my team members, will share a topic which is social and emotional issue of children and adolescents in the digital era, support service through a play therapy approach. So I begin with the introduction. Before that, by looking to our topic that focus on the children and adolescents, we need to know that children and adolescents are influenced by developmental phase, which are physical, social, cognitive, and also emotion. And these four developmental are influencing and interacting to each other. All right, and this and during this phase or during this children and adolescent age, it is the most critical period whereby they are shaping their autonomy, identity, value, and the outcome is will determine their personality and also the akhlaq in future. However, in this digital era, the world has changed. Okay, and let us do some reflection. The lifestyle of our children and adolescents today, of course, totally different as compared to past 30 years. Okay, before the existence of technology, children and adolescents were free to explore, to play, to socialize, and it actually stimulates their developmental. And what happened today is most of our kids or most of our children have their own device. And they are free to access any sources at any time and also anywhere. And yes, device, internet, gadget are not something that are negative. Even it has a good impact whereby children can actively process all the information from the internet. However, we need to remember that in the same time, internet also consists of negative information, such as pornography, aggressive, porno action, that all this negative information can hinder or disrupt the development of children and adolescents. All right. So we look at the issue of what was actually happened to our children and adolescents, especially in this digital era. Okay, the first is a family issue or pressure in family. As we know, family play a big role in fostering the social and emotional development of children and also adolescent. However, the pressure in the family that are caused by financial factors, loss of job during pandemic, high academic expectation from parents, abusive family, emotional, physical abuse, and all these things will affect the developmental of children and adolescent. Okay, the second is changes in school life. Okay, what we can say is the existence of pandemic, okay, has changed the educational style. Okay, during pandemic, classroom learning was shaped to a PDPR model, uh, movement control order, stay at home, cannot meet friends, and this online learning is actually violate the developmental norm of children and adolescents. And the third is the influence of media. Okay, the influence of media content of technology. Okay, so nowadays our children and adolescents are exposed to variety of sources, including negative and also positive resources. Okay, hence our children and adolescents need a guidance, especially from adult, on how to escape themselves from this issue. So without any guidance or without any help from adult, it can contribute to the mental health issue such as depression, anxiety, and any disorder. Next, we go to the discussion. Okay, so how we can help our children and adolescents. So my discussion will be focusing on the support service that are needed by this target group, which is children and adolescents. Counseling service is one of the most important and needed service by children and adolescents. And one of the approach that's suitable for children and adolescents is play therapy approach. So what is play therapy approach? Okay, so play therapy is a treatment method that using toys and play as the catalyst of change. Okay, and this is also seen as a dynamic interpersonal relationship between a children with a therapist trained in play therapy procedures. Okay, and there are several play therapy approach that can be applied in dealing with an issue or problem such as child-centered play therapy, Adlerian play therapy, Gestalt play therapy, and cognitive play therapy. And the interesting was play therapy approach has been used by our Prophet Muhammad SAW when dealing with children. Okay, for example, our Prophet Muhammad SAW always play with his grandson Hassan and Hussein, and he was appreciate the fitrah of children that love to play. Okay, and in play therapy also there are several modalities that can be applied in counseling session. First is movement therapy or movement modality, which is the activity that using physical movement, okay? And the movement activity that is often closely related to Muslim, of course, prayer or salat lah. And the next is music therapy, which is activity that using musical instrument or singing. Okay, and this modality has significant positive effect in reducing stress, illness, or emotion. And if we can reflect to Muslim by listening to zikir or reciting Al-Quran, can reduce stress and also increase calmness. Okay, and the last is puppet therapy, which is activity using puppet to teach children to the related behavior. So we can use this modality to teach children about the character of our Prophet Muhammad SAW. So the last is the implication of this research. First is in order to manage the children and adolescent issue, it needs full commitment from parents, teacher, authorities, and also society. All these parties need to sensitive to the social and emotional change of children and also adolescent. And the second is the implication for counselor. Counselor need to provide service that are in line with the need of children and adolescent. So one of the best service is by applying the play therapy approach. Okay, so that's all from me. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.